I help people feel better. I help people do more in their lives. And I help people live better lives.
Passion, as we say, is that fuel that enable you to jump through hoops of flames of fire, jump rope and chew gum at the same time. Passion is fuel, the purpose to enable you to cross the finish line or to finish what you start.
Focus on the end result that you want. What if I could feel better today? Even if you don't tap, if you just ask the questions, what if I can feel better today?
You take hope and perseverance and you put that together. At the end of the day, it's going to be a success story.
Anybody, right? I mean, anybody can literally achieve the dream of home ownership in a 5-year plan, right? It starts today.
Attack the immediate tasks before you. And when I speak of attacking, what I'm trying to get you to consider is the idea that we need to take action.
So when you're not feeling good, you simply note it and know that you're focused on what you don't want, and you get to choose. You can be intentional, choose what do you want to focus on.
And so the word no is one of the most important words you can ever say, and yet it's so hard. If I say no to you, I am literally affirming myself. I'm giving myself permission to do me.
I'm saying the answers you need are within you, not without you. But you have to do what each one of the speakers have been asking you to do. Trust yourself.
So for now, before I call on to our next person, I just want to know if you can hear this song that I'm going to be playing here 1 minute. Because I want us to stand up and stretch for a minute. Okay, I hope it plays. Because you've been standing for a long time. And what else? So, I mean, even if you know, we just need to stretch. My love, my heart, dance and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Let them have one love, one heart. I know I needed that. I needed that. We have been sitting, and you all have been so good, sitting from one speaker to another. And my apologies, probably every hour I should have said, you know, let's stretch. So, I mean, as much as you can, if you can just stretch where you are and, you know, stretch your hands. Lift your hands up. Yes. Yes. We are now working, thank you for that, thank you for those stretches. We are now working from home, and many of us, this is the first year that we've had to do everything on the computer, the meetings, the trainings, the family meetings. Those of you that attend church, we are attending church on here. So pretty much we are sitting and, you know, being on the computers or on the screen for long periods of time. Do not forget to take those moments and to take those breaks. And even if I know you're being seen on screen, take yourself a minute to just go and stretch. And even if you stretch there, whilst you're there, because you're muted, guess what? It will encourage somebody else to stretch because they see you, you know, unapologetically stretching yourself and rolling your neck or something. And then all of a sudden it will be, oh, look at that. I have to tell you what I'm seeing, because one of the most beautiful things is to see couples actually helping each other stretching. So I just saw a couple, Mr. Luvera. I don't see your wife's face, but I see her stretching you. So it's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I applaud you and hello, ma'am. You know, yeah. So For those of you that do work online and do some of this work that I'm doing with you today, and you do conferences, workshops, fall into it, because then people have lives to do. And especially when we take 2 hours out of somebody's life and they are a parent, obviously, this lady is a parent and they're a parent, wife, or, a person that has other things to do. Just be cognizant that, what, they have given you that time, and it's okay if it unmutes sometimes. You just give each other time to just adjust and do that. So, ma'am, whoever you are, I hope you were okay with that. I just wanted to make sure that at least we can continue with the program. So thank you for that. Hey, we move on with the program. Guess who I'm bringing next? One of the most amazing physicians. You talk about coming out of the box, right? This is how I describe this beautiful, beautiful friend of mine that's coming now. She has come out of the box from a doctor, the real doctors, real physician from the office that we say, I remember people saying, no, are you a real doctor? And at first I used to go, real doctor? What do you mean, am I a real doctor? I now get it. I got it. After 20 something years of being, a PhD, I understand when they say real doctors. So I want to bring to you a real doctor. And when she is speaking to us, and when you see her, what I want you to pay attention to is a woman who is not just in a doctor's office the traditional way. She shifted way before COVID-19 shifted all of us, because many of us found their strength to shift because of the COVID. After the COVID, she found that courage to shift way before COVID-19. So I want to introduce all of you to, I call her Dr. Lulu. She calls herself Uchenna. So she's gonna have to correct us, because I'm gonna call her Dr. Lulu. But her full name is Uchenna Umeh, and AKA Dr. Lulu, the momatrician. She's a mommy and she's a pediatrician. That's the momatrician. You haven't seen or heard anything yet. She's a board certified pediatrician who's going to be talking to us about the power of the word no. Who's ready for that one? Because I know I need to hear about. Yes, she is going to talk about the power of the word no. She's an international speaker, best-selling author. She's a blogger, podcaster, and domestic abuse survivor. I think she forgot to put here, because she is also becoming the #1 video momatrician. You will see her on video on Facebook Live, and she's on Instagram Live. She just like coming out of the box and just walking it through natural and talking about life. Love what she's doing. After experiencing suicide, both on a professional and personal level, she resigned from her traditional clinical practice. And that's when she became a professional speaker on youth suicide in 2018. Since then, she has dedicated her life to education and creating awareness for suicide, a mission she hopes to take on to a global scale. She is currently the CEO of Dr. Lulu's Youth Health Center, a direct primary care practice in San Antonio, Texas, where she cares for only at-risk children and youth. She lives in San Antonio, Texas with her family, which includes a rat terrier mix and 2 parakeets. In her pastime, she likes to dance, garden, write, and exercise. So after you hear this, I know many of you, including myself, you probably were thinking she's going to talk to us about suicide, because that's one of the struggles that we're seeing in the pandemic. This one, it's called the power of no. But I got you, because many of these speakers that you're seeing here, they are also trainers in the Dr. STEM Empowerment Academy. So many of them, you will see them training workshops and seminars. Next year, they will come on and do these again and do specific topics that you would like to hear from them. And one of those I would definitely, have Dr. Lulu come and do for us is a workshop on suicide. But today, she's like, you know what? Let me talk about the power of the word no. Hello, Dr. Lulu, and welcome.
Welcome, welcome everybody. Buenas tardes. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Mom Nutrition. I'm so excited to be here. We're going to start right away. I know I was supposed to come earlier, but I didn't. So thank you so much, Dr. Stammy, for giving me some grace today. So we're going to start with what I like to do best, which is 5 beautiful minutes of guided meditation. Yay! So I'm going to play my music. If you can hear the music, just give me a thumbs up. It's going to be piano. I have a son who plays classical piano. So this is for him. Just give me a thumbs up. And all I ask you to do is take off your shoes. I know Dr. Stemi, this was a surprise for you. Because I was like, because the kind of dramatic morning I've had, we need this. So we're going to take off your shoes and I want you to ground your feet to Mother Earth. And let's begin in 3, 2, 1. So close your eyes, bring your hands to heart center, and lower your gaze. I want you to think about everything you've learned about today as you relax your forehead, your eyebrows, your cheeks, your chin, your tongue, your neck, and your shoulders. And I want us to take a trip down memory lane. Let's go back to when you were 5 years old. What did you like? You were carefree. Chances are you said no whenever you wanted to. You didn't care. When you were 10, you probably said no as well. And so I want you to visit your 5-year-old self or your 10-year-old self and ask them what happened. Or let them ask you what happened. I see you've changed, is what they say. Why are you saying yes when you mean to say no? What is the impact that has on your life today? What mask are you wearing and having a force to reckon with, which is yourself? Inside, you're fighting to say yes, to say yes, to say yes to self. But you say no to yourself, because that's what you're doing every single time you say yes to the outside world. And so with that kind of fight going on inside your body, no wonder there's anxiety. No wonder there's no calm, like the last speaker just said. It's a dissonance. It's discongruent, the big English speakers will say. And so on your way out of the past, ask yourself, who have you become in your quest to please everybody? Who are you today? When you know you truly want to say no, and you say yes, oh yeah, I'll do it. Of course, I got it. Oh yeah, don't worry about it, I got it. Yeah, sure. But really you want to say no. And so today I want you to tell your 10-year-old self or your 5-year-old self, tell them you will become more authentic to self. You will say no when you have to say no. No is a complete sentence, you know. And when someone else says no to you, you must honor their no. They don't owe you any explanations, and neither do you owe them. And so in the last few seconds of this beautiful meditation, I want you to think about all the times you've said yes, when you truly wanted to say no and forgive yourself. It's about self-compassion, baby. But like every time you forgive someone, you shouldn't do it again. Stand in your no, own it. Own it. And so I'm going to be silent and let you hug your 5-year-old self and tell them you'll be back and find your way back to today. All right. Okay, wakey, wakey. How was that? Hopefully you did take the trip and you did meet with your 5-year-old self. I love my 5-year-old self. She was fearless. She was always in control. All right, and I'm going to do what I told Dr. Stemi I wasn't going to do, and that is share my screen. And so you can see I have a 10-slide presentation. I want you to type in the chat if you are like me and you find yourself saying no when you really want to say yes a lot of times. And so I'm a life coach, I'm a physician, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, but my favorite job is mom. Once upon a time, my favorite job was wife. And one day, one night, I woke up in cold sweat. I do not remember to this date how I found the pair of scissors. I don't know how it came into my hand. But I was going to stab him with it. I was going to kill him. Now, I'm a doctor. I know how to kill people. I do. But then I also lived in South Carolina. I was going to get a death penalty for sure. I'm a Black female. What? And I was going to have kids that have no mother. And that was the day I said, you know what? No. I'm not going to be a second-class citizen in my home anymore. And so I left the marriage. I sacrificed the marriage. And so the word no is one of the most important words you can ever say. And yet it's so hard to say it. And so when Dr. Stemi said, I said no to medicine, I did. I walked away from medicine because I wanted to find out why my 7-year-old patient wanted to hang himself. Why are teenagers killing themselves? Why? Why are people jumping? What does it really mean to say no? When you say no to someone, you're saying yes to yourself. But how many of us can actually say no with confidence? What's holding you hostage? What mask are you wearing? The mask of pleasing someone else. The mask of being a good employee. The mask of being a good parent, you think. You're saying yes, 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 yes to all these people, but you're dying inside. I'm a female physician. We have the highest rate of suicides. Did you know that? I was driving down the highway in San Antonio, Texas, on a cold November morning in 2015. I was going at over 85 miles an hour. I had no seatbelt on. My rooftop of my convertible was down. I was going to go see God. Because I was so busy saying yes to a job that is toxic. Yes, to a boss that didn't like me. Yes, to a marriage that was killing me. Yes, 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 yes. And at one point, I was like, what about me? And so I was going to sacrifice my own self because I was wearing all kinds of masks, it says. So when was the last time you said yes when you really meant no? Put it in the chat. And let's talk about that. You really meant to say no, but you're like, let me say yes because I don't want blah, blah, blah. Let me say yes because I don't want blah, blah, blah. Really? And so I challenge you today to take off your mask and learn to say no, both individually as a person and as a community, as Black people, as white people, as Asians, as mothers, as parents, whatever community you find yourself, learn to say no already. We don't want to do it anymore. As a woman and as a doctor, and more importantly, as a mother of a child who is gay, I've had to look life in the eye and say, no, I'm going to protect my 3 Black sons. No, I'm not going to let you bully my child because they find themselves in a body that they didn't ask God for. You don't get to tell my child that my child is not complete. No! I've had to learn how to claim my voice again. And if you're looking for creative ways to say no, you can say, by no means, I'm slammed, not for me. No, thank you. Like my wife says, she's like, no, thank you. If you want to be polite about it, so many ways. I'm afraid I can't. Maybe another time. I'm sorry, I'm busy. Whatever you want to say, just say it. If you don't want to just come and say clean no. But I want to teach you to empower yourself today. The difference between yes and no. Yes, you're supporting risk-taking. Yeah, let's go together. Let's go for a party. Yes. Yes, I'm courageous. I want to do this. Yes. I'm open-hearted. I have this nice graciousness. I'm kind. I'm even loving. But am I really? Because no has a hidden power. Yes, it's easily misunderstood. People think, oh my goodness, I can't believe you said no to me. Yes, I'm saying no to you because I'm saying yes to me. It's rarely celebrated. I can't believe she said no. Can you believe she doesn't want to come along with us? Yes, when I say no to you, you can't engage. It's difficult for you to engage because I'm done. No mass. And people confuse it with negativity. Yeah, I can't believe she always says no. Maybe because she's discovered the truth that some of us are still looking for. Because we lack the awareness that no is so powerful. And so, a clear choice. No, Dr. Stemi, I cannot participate in your event. That's it. It is self-affirming. If I say no to you, I am literally affirming myself. I'm giving myself permission to do me. I'm giving myself self-love, which is lacking when a lot of physicians overstretch themselves. And because they don't want to say no to taking up another shift, no to being the best doctor, no to the outside world, they jump. And it self-prioritizes. I like to call myself the priority coach. I help you prioritize yourself. You must come first, then your spouse, then your kids. Believe it or not, it's in that order. When that order is reversed or misplaced, things fall apart. It is a major responsibility to yourself to claim and own your no. And yes, it's a sign of maturity when you say no to the outside world, because you're saying yes to yourself. So no is a tool, and it's also the barrier for self-preservation. You will preserve yourself if you learn to say, no, ma'am, I don't want it. No, thank you to that extra stick of cigarette. No, thank you to beer. No to driving fast without a seatbelt. No to not wearing a mask in a pandemic. No to going to hang out and pretending that we don't have a pandemic. And yes, it's a tool of self-limitation. Like, you know what? There's my limit. I can't take any more. So I'm going to say no. Just say no. Just learn. And so you walk with confidence because you've got nice legs like I do and a nice pair of heels. No better confidence than that picture. Walking into self-protection. You know what? I'm not going to drive without a seatbelt. I'm not going to be distracted when I'm driving. I'm going to do one thing at a time. I'm not going to pretend that I can multitask. I'm not going to say, yes, I got it anymore. Self-protection from self-destruction, AKA self-discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to say no to someone else, because that means You're saying yes to yourself. And so I want to empower you today to go out there and just reclaim your power. Remember that saying no can also mean saying no to yourself for those things you know you don't need to do. You know your mama is going to yell at you if you did it. But it also means saying no to the outside world and reclaiming your independence. Thank you.